Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another political episode. So, there were Maine ballot measures, as in the state of Maine, on Tuesday. And we're going to kind of go over these ballot measures for you. There were questions 1 and 2 and 3. So, we're going to kind of have to, well, actually, there might be more for you all. So yeah, we're gonna have to go over these main results for you today. Basically, we're gonna try to get every ballot measure in, so we might have a little small explanation on these ballot measures. So let's take a look at main question 1. So main question 1 is saying here, the initiative would require all consumer-owned electricity providers in Maine and some quasi-governmental entities to obtain approval from a majority of voters in a statewide referendum in order to borrow more than $1 billion. It was put forth by opponents of question 3, which, if passed, would create a consumer-owned utility. So yeah, 65% of voters said yes to this. Significantly. I do believe it's being slow here. Internet's always slow, but every county in Maine voted yes to this referendum. And I mean, the map, it's not really important. Of any importance. It shows towns, and I'm not sure why, because Maine does have counties, you know. However, the New England towns have more power than at other said towns around the United States, which including recognizable election results. So this is yes, and I'm going to kind of display the results for you here. So these are indeed the counties that voted yes to ballot measure of, let's see, question 1. So 16 counties voting yes to the ballot measure. 65%, that is what I would say. Yeah, this is being super slow. Anyway, let's take a look at prohibit foreign governments from spending money to influence elections. Then this initiative would make it illegal for companies or entities owned or controlled by foreign governments to spend money to influence voters on state referendums. 86% of voters said yes, and I would too. I mean, why should foreign governments influence elections in our country? So that is a good example. So yes, obviously, we don't need a map here to show us and prove to us that every county voted yes to this ballot measure. All right, so then there's create a publicly-owned utility company. So all of this is about utilities, government elections. So this initiative would overhaul the operation of Maine's electric grid, replacing the state's 2 investor-owned utility companies with a newly created consumer-owned utility called Pine Tree Power. This one says no. Everyone's voting no to this referendum. 70%. So we're going to kind of change our map result here. Go to no preset colors. So this is going to be basically no. Yeah, so no overwhelmingly, of course, wins the ballot measure, carrying every county. Yeah, as you can see, the internet's being really bad. But to be honest with you, it's not really important. I mean, you can see the towns map and all that stuff. No, you can't because of the stupid internet. Oh yeah, you'll see. Portland was kind of divided on this issue, but yeah, when it comes to this, uh, realistically, you don't really need the town map. We're doing counties, and it's pretty safe to say that every county in Maine voted for this ballot measure, against this ballot measure. Red counties and blue counties. And I personally think these ballot measures in general don't, like, they're not really political. They're not controversial. I mean, to some degree, sure, but they're not really political aligned. It's all a matter of your opinion, which, yeah, we kind of need. Here is our map after taking 3 minutes of loading. So yeah, majority of these towns voting no. There are no towns in, well, yeah, there's townships, but very unpopulated over here. Generally, very conservative areas. Barely any people here in these areas. So, yeah, you get Moose River, City of Moose River, Dennistown Plantation. Oh yeah, and they only have 8 people. That's boring. So why do you even use the town map? It's just the municipalities. It's just. Question 4. Establish an automotive right to repair. This initiative would repair auto manufacturers to share access to certain vehicle diagnostic tools with car owners and independent repair shops. So let's take a look at this measure here. $84% says yes to this ballot measure. I mean, if you're, I don't know why they wouldn't. To be honest, you want, if you have a vehicle that's having a diagnostic problem or a vehicle that's having a hard time running, you would want to get it fixed, and you would have you want to do anything to make sure your vehicle gets fixed. So absolutely. Yes. Overwhelmingly. There's no doubt about it. Yes wins this ballot measure in Maine. All right, so a right to repair. So, question 5 tells us increase the amount of time state officials have to determine the validity of written petitions. This initiative would give state election officials more time to validate signatures on petitions to get citizen initiated proposals onto the ballot. This one was a little bit divided, and I'm kind of curious to see what it's kind of looking like. But 58% of Mainers, I like to call them Mainers, but voted for this ballot measure. 57, 58, 56 was somewhere around that. I personally think this is going to be a more disputed. So this ballot measure would give state elections more time to validate signatures on petitions to get citizen initiated proposals onto the ballot. So it's just saying, okay, they're going to give you more time to get more signatures so that you can get things on the ballot. I personally here, for sure, This one seems to be a little more political, and a little more lopsided. Rural areas are basically going to say, yeah, this one, Aroostook County is a little bit more divided on this. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and give this one saying no. Well, actually, this is what we're going to do. This is our prediction right here. I think this is what the map would probably look like, realistically. Sort of like the Obama 2012 map and 2008 map. Very similar. No, generally voting are conservative counties. However, the counties in blue more liberal here, as you can see. Okay, yeah, I went back, but question 6, include all provisions of the state constitution in official printed copies. Why did I say caps? So, since 1876, 3 sections have been omitted from paper copies, one of which pertains to treaty obligations with the state's indigenous tribes. This would require paper copies of Maine's Constitution to be printed in full. Realistically, I would predict, well, let's take a look at that number, 73%. That's a lot. So yes, I do think yes overwhelmingly dominates Maine altogether. Amend the state constitution to allow non-residents to circulate written petitions for initiatives. The initiative, well, let's take a look at main question 6. Like I said, it's not of importance. The initiative would remove the provision in Maine's constitution that requires people circulating petitions for ballot initiatives to be Maine residents and registered voters. A federal court ruled in 2020 that the provision was unconstitutional. So amend the state constitution to allow non-residents to circulate written petitions for initiatives. Non-residents. I don't know why non-residents would even care about a state that they're not even living in. So I would vote no. And obviously, it looks like 69% of Maine voters would do that also. And conservatives should generally vote no on this because you want a non-resident of Maine to initiate a woke ballot measure in your state. That's not even, you're not even a part of. That they're not even a part of. So yeah, definitely. Amend the state constitution to enfranchise people in guardianships because of mental illness. This is our last one. Amend the state constitution to enfranchise. The initiative would remove the provision in Maine's constitution that prohibits people who are under guardianship for mental illness from voting. The provision has not been legally enforceable since a federal judge deemed it unconstitutional in 2001. This one's a little more controversial. It looks like no is winning by 53%. It would remove the provision in Maine that prohibits people who are under guardianship for So what I am interpreting from this is Maine, in the Maine Constitution, people with mental illness can't necessarily vote. And this ballot measure is saying you want to remove that. Surprisingly, 53% said no. Well, unless I'm misunderstanding So yeah, this is what it's kind of saying. This is what I'm thinking. What it's kind of going to look like. Cumberland County will vote yes. Mainly the coastal counties. Yeah, I think this county would go yes too on this ballot initiative. This is a hard one, but yeah, this one also. Well, hang on. Yeah, I think this one too would. Yeah, this one. Yeah, it does not help that these are towns, so we don't understand. Yeah. It could possibly look like this. But that's a possibility. I'm not confident that it looked like this. Yeah, we have York County, generally more popular. That county's saying no for sure. But anyway, that pretty much sums everything up. Now, I want to thank you all for watching this political episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.